Hello, everyone. I am just waiting for people to show up here. Hello, everybody. Hey, guys. I'm great. How are you? Just doing a quick little video today. I wasn't really necessarily planning on doing this video per se, but I do think it's kind of important to do it. Just considering a couple of things I'll be talking about in my next video, and I really don't want to. Hi, everybody. I don't want to get off track in my next video talking about this. And I have talked about this before. So for a lot of you to be kind of like a broken record, I've discussed it before, but I've never really discussed it in a way. In this way, I've always just done videos on it. So it'll be better and more interesting to actually speak about it instead of just putting words to pictures. Because I think in particular, it's very important for what I'm trying to do personally, um, in terms of making the series regarding Michael and what I think his ultimate message is. So today I'm going to be talking a bit about Michael's um, history, his family history, more so his father's history, only because for some reason it's very difficult to find out information on Katherine Jackson and her history. Ancestry is not really as available as Joe Jackson's for some reason. So I'm pretty much going to be talking a lot on Michael's family history. And there's a reason. I mean, I guess I can just say that the reason really is, um, you know, I feel like with leaving Neverland, there was like this huge agenda to kind of like discredit Michael. I mean, not kind of, there was 100% an agenda to discredit Michael, who he is as a person, an individual human being. And it's very easy for people to want to do that. And I really feel like a lot of times there are things that we do to dehumanize people, even if we're not intentionally trying to dehumanize a person. And I think Michael is someone who has focused a lot, who talks often about his history and where he comes from, and not even necessarily where he comes from, but just the importance of being open about who you really are. A lot of people over time, I mean, I really wasn't aware of this while it was happening, but over time, a lot of people have tried to say that Michael wasn't proud of who he is, wasn't proud of his black heritage, wasn't proud of who he was as a black man, and I very much disagree with that. Michael is a very, very, very proud black man, very proud of who he is, his heritage, where he comes from. He really didn't see color in terms of loving people, because you really shouldn't. You shouldn't see color or race or ethnicity or anything when you're loving people. That's not really important. It's just we're all one race, which is the human race. That's so true. But I do think that he has a lot of integrity in being a black man, and as far as like his vitiligo and his skin disorder, that's something that he couldn't help or control. um, and that's a whole other subject in itself. But I do believe that Michael truly, truly, appreciated and loved who he was. Um, and that kind of moves me into the subject of Michael's children. Um, and I've talked about this so many times, and it's like a broken, like beating a dead horse. But it's really important to kind of just explain this a little bit. Michael's children, Michael Jackson, his music was his entire life. From the time he was a little child, his music was everything. It encompassed everything that he was, and something that I think he was always very proud of, and he should have been. He was the world's greatest entertainer, and his music was everything. When you go through a life when you're a superstar and you're just almost bigger than life yourself, people have these little compartments they try to put you in, and you really feel like I mean, I've not heard this from him, but I've heard it from other celebrities that I have spoken to, or just people that I've talked to that kind of have that stature in life. You always feel like nothing really is yours. You always feel like everything that you do belongs to somebody else because essentially you become a brand. And Michael Jackson was a brand. He still is a brand. He is, his likeness belongs to other people and it sucks. But I feel like when Michael made the decision to have children, that is something that he, was always able to say, you know, this is mine. This is something for myself. This is something that I can have myself. And I'm not that like his children are material possessions, but it was like the one thing in life that I feel like he was able to say, you know what, this is something that is mine that nobody can have and take from me. And very early on when I first started studying the hoax, um, I'm sorry, I just can't have people in here being okay. I will take this person out of here. Okay. Um, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. Um, I feel like with his children, with fans in general, not even just I'm not even gonna talk about the people out there. I mean, people out there who say like derogatory things about Michael's kids or about him not wanting to have biological black children, those people get under my skin. But I think more than that, for sure, I feel like Michael's fans very often say this. And it's not even always coming from a place of like negativity. A lot of them just say, like, he didn't want to he didn't want to pass on his genetic disorder. He didn't want to have children biologically because he didn't want them to have vitiligo or health problems, or if people just say different things. And some it's not always a negative a connotation with it. I mean, some people really don't mean anything bad by it, but a lot of fans like often are like, there's no way, like, no, there's no way because of how they look. There's no way. And I mean, people are allowed to have their opinions. That's totally fine. I mean, you can have your own opinion. We're all entitled to it. But I think that a lot of people have a general lack of knowledge of Michael's history. When they see Michael's kids, they automatically just say, "Well, this." I mean, the logical thing for them is, "Well, Michael had dark skin and he had a certain kind of hair before he had surgeries, before he had vitiligo, so." Your children genetically are going to be a result of how you are before you have surgeries, before you have a skin disorder. And that's a pretty valid statement to make. Obviously, like, your children are not going to come out looking like how you look after you have plastic surgery. That is 100% accurate. So I mean, I understand that stance, but a lot of people, I've heard people make the comment and say like, well, Michael's kids look like that, but none of the other Jackson children look like that. So there's a lot of like misconceptions a lot of people don't know about, a lot of things they don't understand. So that's why I wanted to kind of do this video. I think if I do this video and I speak it and talk about it, a lot of people will actually like there will be no excuse for the misinformation anymore because you will know. So the information that I have available is actually coming directly from Joe Jackson. He wrote a book, and I think it was released in Germany back in the 90s. I don't have the name of it anymore because this is old information, but I'll definitely find it and link it down below as soon as I have a chance to. I'm guessing the notifications just went out to people because people are all coming in here now. So I was just giving you guys a general understanding of the video that I'm going to do. But I will talk about all of those things in just a moment. It's in terms of like, people make the comments and say like, well, his kids, they don't look like their cousins. Well, there's a reason for that. But I myself, have a niece and nephew who are biracial, and they look like white kids, and people, so I know personally firsthand that you really can't base things off of looks. But I digress. I'm going to talk a little bit about Michael's like family history and try to give people a better understanding of some things before I get into all that. Like I said, this is very important in terms of my next video that I'm gonna do. This is just kind of a lead into that Can You Feel It video. So I am gonna tell you guys a little bit of information about Michael's family. Okay, so first and foremost, in the beginning of the 19th century, there was a Choctaw Native American by the name of July Gale. He was born. July grew up and he became a tribe shaman and was also a scout for the United States Army. July was also known as Jack, and that was pretty much his nickname from the time he was a child into adulthood. So his name, he was born July Gale. He was fully Native American, 100%, Choctaw Native American, and his nickname was Jack. So one day, Jack um, met and fell in love with a slave girl, and her name was Gina. So in 1838, Gina gave birth to their first child. He was a little boy, and his name was Israel, which I think is very interesting in itself. But this little boy's name was Israel. Because Israel had one parent that was a slave, by law, he was automatically considered a slave. That's just how it was. So even though his father was 100% Native American and wasn't a slave, his mother was. So they felt they had rights to this child. So with age, Israel adopted the name of Nero. That's something else that's very interesting. And I will talk about all these names, Israel, Nero, later. Okay. He was then known as Israel, the son of Jack. So later, they just started calling him Nero Jackson. So Jackson comes from that. Um, Basically, he was the son of the guy Jackson. They started calling him Jackson. So that's where the name came from, just in case you didn't know that. Um, Nero was a slave and was very strong. He was very smart. He was eventually sold to a plantation in Louisiana where he ran away because he was obviously treated terribly. Um, They did catch him and they beat him very, very badly. When they beat him, he almost died, but he did survive, but he actually ran away again. So this is really interesting. When he got caught the second time, the master took an instrument and squeezed his nose. It was a fire chimney instrument. He squeezed his nose and he carried on a severely burnt nose. So he was like identified by his nose. This is just really weird to me, considering who his great great grandson would, that's just weird to me. So during Nero's time on the plantation, he had 6 children with a girlfriend that he had. So they had 6 kids. But later on in his life, he fell in love with a woman named Emmeline. Emmeline was 3/4 Native American. Okay. And Nero was half Native American. So with Emmeline being 3/4 Native American and Nero being a half Native American, any offspring that they would have would be like pretty much 82% Native American. So it wouldn't, obviously not 100% Native American, but any children that they had would be 82% Native American. So people always, I've heard this statement often that like people have said, well, oh, you can't say Michael Jackson has Native American because all Black people have Native American in them. But that's not the case. This isn't just a case of somebody having a little bit of Native American in them. Michael Jackson, any child that would be born from these two people would be considered completely Native American, not just a child that has a sprinkle of Native American in their blood. This child would be considered, for all intents and purposes, Native American. So that automatically dispels that rumor that it's just a little bit of a sprinkle, okay? So when Nero became a free slave in 1865, he was free to practice medicine, just like his father had. So Nero became very famous for his abilities to heal sick people all over the world. He was also known as a doctor, a healer. This is very, very interesting considering Michael has often talked about his ability to like heal children, and people think he's just talking crazy or just like saying things like, no, this is in his bloodline. His great great grandfather did the same thing. He actually healed people. He was known to heal people all over the world. And this is something that also I've heard Paris recently talking about herself, that she's had the ability to do this as well. So this is not just like some hokey pokes thing that Michael was just saying. This is what is in his lineage to be a healer. Um, so I will show you guys a picture of Nero. Let me put a picture up of him. Hold on a second. So this is Nero. This is Nero Jackson. It should change in a moment. It might take a minute. There we go. This is Nero Jackson. So with the money that he earned from treating the ill, Nero was able to purchase a farm in Sunnyvale, Mississippi. That's where he raised 15 children. So when Emmeline died, Nero was living on the farm all by himself. Because he was so old and he was weak, he started to rely on older white gentlemen to help him carry out many business and related things, and also to hold on to important family documents. The man's name was Elroy. He ended up losing all the documentation proving that the farm belonged to the Jackson family. So Joe Jackson's father, Samuel, later found out that the land on which the family is located is oil rich and worth $100 million to this day. The family is unable to claim the land because there's no proof of their ownership, which really, 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 really sucks. So Samuel Jackson, this goes on. Samuel Jackson was the youngest son of Nero. So Samuel is Joe's father. So Samuel was the youngest child of Nero and Emmeline. He actually had a twin sister named Janie. So basically, Samuel, who is Joe's father, Michael's grandfather, is the result of the half Native American and the 3/4 Native American couple. So this means that technically speaking, Michael Jackson's grandfather could have considered himself to be 100% Native American if he wanted to. If he wanted to. We know he didn't do that, but he could have. So Samuel was exceptionally bright, and his aptitude testing showed above all intelligence for the people around his age. He was like a genius, okay? By the time Samuel was 24 years old, he had already obtained his bachelor's and master's degree. So this was unheard of for this time. Michael comes from a bloodline of overachieving geniuses. This is not something that started with Michael Jackson, okay? That should be just out in the universe. Michael comes from it's like people are always so much like they focus on only Michael, but this comes from his DNA. Like his grandfather was an overachieving genius. He was he had a master's degree at 24 years old. For any person of color, whether they're Black, Native American, in that time to have that is like insane. Here is a picture of his grandfather. So this is Samuel. This is his grandfather. Not too long after starting his career, Samuel met and fell in love with a really bright student by the name of Crystal King. So he married her, and what later basically became Michael's mother. I'm sorry, Joe's mother. So Joe Jackson's grandmother, Rosia King, is listed as white on the 1920 census, making Joe's mother biracial. Okay, so let's examine something here. Joe's father, for all intents and purposes, could have been considered Native American completely if he wanted to. Joe's mother is Caucasian and Black, so she's biracial. Okay. Joe Jackson is the product of this. So Joe Jackson himself is the product of a biracial mother, a Native American father. Okay. We know that so I just want to just say that obviously we know that Joe Jackson was a Black man, and the Jacksons are an incredible Black family that made history. But let's just, for just 1 second, get technical. Joe Jackson should more than anything be considered a multi-ethnic person, considering the fact that Joe Jackson didn't even have any parents that were fully Black. Joe Jackson's parents were not fully Black at all. His mother was half Black, but his parents weren't even fully Black. So if anything, Joe Jackson is like a multi-racial, multi-ethnic person. As far as, and I wasn't able to find anything really on Catherine, but what I did find is her grandmother on the 1910 census was listed as mulatto. So Catherine's grandmother was listed as mulatto, which means biracial. So if you, for argument's sake, say that Catherine was 100% African American, you still have to take into account the fact that Michael, his one half of his self is from his father. So you have to take all of these things into consideration. And that was just pretty much, that's what I wanted to tell you as far as like the technicality of Michael's history, where he comes from, okay? So when people look at Michael's kids, right, and they say there is no way he can biologically be those, he can't possibly be their father, you have to take into consideration Michael's DNA. Michael's own father was completely multi-ethnic. He was more Native American than he was even Black. Okay, his mother, obviously, her grandparent was biracial, has white in her. People always say that there's no way because Michael's brother's kids or Paris Prince and Blanket's cousins don't look like that. They don't have white mothers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Michael is the only person that had children with a white woman. So when you have children with a white woman and you already have so much white and Native American in your bloodline, what do you expect his kids to look like? The other children, the other kids, Jermaine's kids, Randy's kids, their kids are with either Latina, Hispanic women, or Black women. They don't have biracial kids with white people. So that is why people are so, Debbie Rowe is like Nordic white. She's like white. She's like blonde hair, blue-eyed white. So of course, if he has children with her kids are probably going to look more white than versus like somebody else in his family. So I say, and people say, well, it doesn't matter because, they were his kids. It does matter though, because when you try to discredit people, discredit where they come from, discredit their lineage, discredit that he created children, you dehumanize him in a lot of different ways. You have to understand how DNA works and have to understand why his kids look the way they do. It's because of where they come from. So I wanted to, real quick, let me show you guys. People are always talking about Paris's eyes. Just 1 second here. I think it's probably just going to show a screenshot because I didn't have enough time to save it, but oh, here it is. If you look at Paris's eyes, her eye color is actually the same as her grandfather's. Paris's eyes are the same color as Joe's eyes. Paris does not have blue eyes. Her eyes are like sometimes they turn like a bluish color, but she has the exact same eye shape and color as her grandfather. She doesn't have eyes like her mother. She has the same eye shape as her grandfather. So you just it's like you have to understand that, like, when people say things to discredit you or you cannot be a person that says that you stand. And some people are, no matter what, they're going to think what they want to think. They just will. It's just what they do. They are very stubborn. They have their mindset on something. They will not change their mind. But what I'm saying is you cannot be someone that says that you support the truth about somebody and who they are, but yet you go along with things that discredit them. Michael made it a point to say with his own mouth that literally said in Living with Michael Jackson, these are my children from my sperm. He said that. I do not think he would have even said the word sperm or said that if he didn't have an intention of saying it. You can I'm not saying that everything that Michael says is true. I think Michael, he embellishes some things, of course. But if you're trying to truly understand the core of who somebody is, you have to understand their history. People are so caught up in the idea of what something is supposed to be that they refuse to see the truth. A lot of fans cannot face the fact that Michael has biological children. I don't know where that comes from. I do not know where that comes from. I don't know how it happens. I All of this information that I just shared with you, all of this studying, I didn't even have to like do that for myself. I never needed to do that. When I look at Michael's children, have always seen him. Always. When I look at all three of his kids, I've always seen his spirit, seen his face, I've always seen him. I've never like not, so I mean, maybe that's just my own individual experience, but I've always thought Michael's kids looked like him. So this research and stuff really wasn't for like me. I just want people to understand. Like when you look at his kids, and I feel like Paris gets the most shit for some reason. People don't really say anything about the boys, but for some reason with her, it's like people will just not accept that she's his biological child. I don't know what it is. I don't know where that comes from, but it's very strange to me. Paris, this is Paris and Samuel. Paris looks exactly like her grandfather. Prince looks like him too, but Paris looks just like this man. This is her when she was like, I think 12 or 13. So her face hadn't really like thinned out a lot yet. With a fuller face, she looks just like her grandfather. You can't deny the similarities. They have like the same nose shape, the same round face. She looks just like. And what's so funny to me, this man in this picture looks a lot like Michael to me. Like I see Michael in Samuel's face. But if you look at the picture, they have the same exact face shape. It's not always about like skin color. That has nothing to do with it. You can't always say that because of someone's skin that they can't be related to somebody. Um, and I have another one I wanted to show you guys. I do have some comparison pictures with Prince and Blanket too, but for some reason people just always focus on Paris for some reason, like she doesn't look anything like him. But like I don't agree with that at all. I think Paris, like if you look at this picture right here, Michael had surgery on his nose only at this point. She has his exact smile. They have the same exact smile. I don't know how people just like really can't like see. I don't really know what it is. I think it's a psychological thing. But my brother, guys, my brother's children are biracial and they look white. So I can say like my brother's kids legit look white, but they look like my niece looks exactly like me. Only she looks like a white version of me. So I know they're his kids. You can't base things off of skin color. Black genes are very strong, and that's the whole point I'm trying to make. But black kids can come out looking like anything. Why do you think that we're called people of color? It's not just a black color or a brown color. We can be light, we can be dark, we can be somewhere in between. It's just it doesn't really, it's not necessarily like a skin color. Paris's teeth were not done in this photo, Nas. Paris's teeth were done after this photo was taken. Her veneers happened. She got veneers way later. Paris just got veneers like 2 years ago. This picture was taken of her 4 years ago. These are her natural teeth in this picture. This is right after she had tried to commit suicide a year later. Paris looks just like her father. So I'm not here to argue with people about any of this. All I can tell you, and this video actually isn't only about this. I'm going to talk about something else in a second, but I just wanted to make a point to tell you guys this. when you discredit, you can not only like support half of somebody's truth. If you are interested in knowing the truth about somebody and respecting them, you should respect the truth about them. You cannot get mad at people for calling Michael Jackson a pedophile and get angry and try to defend that aspect of him, but then turn around and say he lied about having kids. Because if you're saying that somebody lied about if you would say that Michael would lie about having children, that he would lie about having his own kids, you are the same as a person saying that he is lying about being a pedophile. It literally is like the same exact thing. If you are suggesting that Michael hated himself so much that he wouldn't have biological children, you're absolutely saying that Michael is capable of doing horrible things. So who would lie to their kids? Why would Michael lie to his kids? Why would Michael do that? It doesn't make any sense. You're saying that everything about him was a lie. Michael wanted to adopt children. Do you really think this man would lie if he adopted kids? Do you think he would make that up? I think he would tell the world if he adopted children. He loves kids. So you have to be very mindful of what you say. People are pissed. These are the same fans that get angry about Lisa because they say, well, Lisa wouldn't give him children. But it doesn't, why would you like not have kids with somebody to the point of your being divorced, but then turn around and adopt kids? It doesn't make any sense. So I just wanted to touch on that for a minute. I don't know why people refuse to accept that Michael had biological children. I don't know what that's about. I don't know where that comes from. I have never in my life looked at Michael's kids and not seen him. I think his children radiate through him 100%. I mean, you can just see him and his kids. Michael is a very special person. Any child that he creates, you can 100% like you can just see it because he's who he is. You can see it through all three. I don't even think that Prince looks like Michael, but his mannerisms, like the way he speaks, so much like his dad to me. So I wanted to just that's not what this video is only about. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Choctaw Native Americans. Um, so the lineage of the Choctaw Native Americans, where Michael's great great grandfather comes from. They are a very, 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 very interesting tribe. And I was reading a little bit about their belief systems, and I wanted to like share that with you guys, what I read. Um, okay, so I'm gonna just read this to you guys. Um, the Choctaws believe in spiritual entities, but they do not worship a single supreme being. They do, however, believe that the sun is a very strong force. I will talk about that in the next video I do about Can You Feel It? The Choctaw believe that some members of their society possess special powers, and people often consulted these enchanters, rainmakers, healers, and prophets. So they were known for having healers and prophets within their society. Um, the Alichi or medicine men use their power to predict the future, help hunters earn success, or give bravery to warriors. Some Alichi, so Alichi is another name for their medicine men, they're healers, they're prophets. Some Alichi were skilled in treating wounds and diagnosing diseases. They could use wild plants for medicine and other antidotes to cure various illnesses. Other Alichis could call on supernatural forces. So what I read about their death was very interesting to me. For death, the Choctaw believed that each person has two souls that survive after death. Their souls were not just spiritual; they took the form of a shuluk or ghost in the shape of a deceased family member. One shuluk, the outside shadow, would stay in the homeland to frighten the living Indians. The second shuluk, the inside shadow, went to one of two afterworlds. Both afterworlds were located on Earth, one being a very far distance away from their homeland. Most Choctaws traveled to the good afterworld, where they believed to be a happy, sunny land with plenty of animals for hunting. Those who committed murder went to the bad afterworld, which was believed to be cloudy, rainy, with no animals for hunting. Those who were sent to the bad afterworld were doomed for a life of misery. So I read that and I thought that was so interesting in terms of the belief system of like what happens after death. Um, Very interesting because I had mentioned to a couple of people in here previously that when I have spoken to people who do readings regarding Michael's afterlife, some people have often told me that like they could never get a read on him, like alive or dead. They never could get an accurate reading, and it was really weird to them. Especially one of my friends who I'm very close with. She always says, I can never, like, I never even told her who she was reading on. I just gave him his natal chart information. And she can never get a full read on Michael's spirit. Like she always says, this is the weirdest thing. She's like, you said this person is dead. I was like, yeah, they died. And she always says, like, I don't understand, like, why are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And she's like, I cannot get a read on this person. It's so weird. It's like I feel like they're here, but they're not. So I thought that was so interesting when I read about their beliefs, you know, I don't really know how much Michael researched his lineage, but I'm assuming since he always spoke about history and knowing yourself, that he definitely, um, for sure, studied his own family history and to know who he was. So I'm not sure if he touched into the practices of his ancestors, but I do know that Paris does. She's very fascinated with that side of her. So I don't know if he did also. But when I talk about the video for Can You Feel It, there is a lot of reference to that. So that's pretty much what I wanted to like talk to you guys about. And I wanted to have this video up for reference. Like I said, people are fully allowed to have their own opinions. You can think whatever you want. It's okay. Like I don't know why people seem to have their own um why people have this such a strong feeling about him. People are just so committed to proving that they're not his kids. Um, Somebody in here did mention Mark Lester, and I want to clear something up about Mark Lester. Mark Lester is a fucking liar. Mark Lester met Michael in the 80s, I believe. Between 1988 and like 2002, Michael had no contact with Mark Lester. Mark Lester is not the father of any of Michael's children. Michael's children do not look like Mark Lester. He is just an opportunist. I don't know what he's a drug addict. His own ex-wife has stated many times that he's lying, you know, so I saw someone mention that, but Mark Lester, I don't know. I never get good vibes off of him anyway. He's just weird. He's like an opportunist to me. Michael hung out with a lot of people like that. I don't know what his reasoning was for doing that, why he hung out with people who were opportunists, but Mark Lester is 100% not Paris's father. Arnie Klein is not Prince's father. He couldn't even produce sperm. His medical records prove that. So, I mean, just I don't know why people are so like I do believe I do believe that Michael's children are what's the word I'm looking for? I do think that they could be designer children. I do think he might have isolated a couple of things to prevent some illness in them because I know that you know Prince was born when he was sick when he was born. So I think it's possible that they could be designer children. There's something I mean people do that all the time. If you have the money to remove certain things from your kid's DNA because you don't want them to be sick, it's fine. Um, and I think, and I, you know what, I'm reading what you're saying. I honestly don't care if they're truly Michael's children. I'm a fan, and I totally understand that. I know a lot of people don't care, and that's fine. You don't have to care. But my problem is Michael didn't just exist by himself. Michael chose to have children. These children are his heirs. They are a part of him. So when people try to discredit that, I think that fans should defend them. I think that fans should stand up because those were his treasures. Michael's fans obviously are or was, very important to him. But his children are like his treasure. They're the most important thing in his life. So that has to be respected and understood. If you're just a fan of his music, that's fine. But if you're someone that's trying to understand who he is as a person in the core, you can't be dismissive of his children. That's crazy. Like to me, that's just like insane. There are people I know who are death hoax people who like completely disregard everything concerning his kids. And they say, well, I don't really care about his kids. I just care about him. But that's ridiculous. If Michael faked his death, obviously a huge part of that whole scenario, you have to factor in the fact that he has kids. They have to mean something. And I think that it's irresponsible that people just don't seem to um I'm gonna read up. Let me see. He was honest about having surgery with BG. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's Tanya, it makes no it's just not I don't understand the logic with people. Like, I don't understand how people, like, will argue that. Like, it does, but it's not logical. Michael and Lisa are not together. People are still trying to say that Michael and Lisa's marriage was fake. Michael and Lisa's marriage was not fake. I have spoken to a lot of people who definitely knew them, definitely knew of their relationship. Their relationship was not fake. Michael and Lisa, it might not have been a traditional marriage, but their relationship was not fake. She did not even like him or was not interested in him, but she fell in love with him. And you can't have a marriage dissolve because of children, but then turn around and adopt them. It's like it doesn't make sense. I just It's just ridiculous to me. I don't know. This video is obviously not intended for everybody. People are gonna have their opinions. People are gonna see what they want to see. That's just the name of the game in this community. But like it's not logical, dude. It's not logical. You just don't do that. You don't have like a marriage dissolve and then turn around and say like I don't know. So my whole point of saying these things is just if you're gonna understand someone, you should understand the whole part of them and not just part of them, not just part that you're just interested in. If Michael faked his death, if Michael is still alive, you have to understand that his children are a very big part of everything that he's done. Um, I don't mean that in a way to implicate them because obviously they don't have a choice as they didn't have a choice as children to do anything. But what I'm saying is they're a part of that decision, that rationality, and people just have to understand that. Like they are important. You don't know what people's true purpose is in life. You don't know if Michael just gave birth or not give birth, but you don't know if Michael had a child. That child is the person that's going to change the world. You don't know that. You have no idea. None of us know. You always look at the person in front of you, but you don't ever see the bigger picture. You have to look at the bigger picture. We have no idea why any of us are here or the purpose in anything that we do. So, for me personally, people are always asking me all these questions and the comments on my videos, messages are always like, how do you find stuff about Michael? How do you see things this way? How are you able to see things this way? And I'll tell you why I'm able to see things and why I'm able to pick up on things. It's because I look at things openly. I don't have a preconceived notion of who Michael Jackson is or who he was. I just accept what I see in front of me and try to understand it better. That's all. That's all that I try to do. I don't look at him with like goggles of him being the supreme overlord entertainer that can't do anything wrong. And people choose to say, I think it's because a lot of fans are women and they have this like sexualized idea of Michael. They have this like fantasy that he's in love with them. So the fact of them even considering or thinking about him having a child with somebody else or, you know, being normal, it freaks them out. They can't deal with it because they're like, they have this like sick fantasy in their mind that he is like some person that's like only for them. And it's so I try not to even address those kinds of people, but I'm just saying. Yes, and kids cannot be a part of that fantasy. That's the problem. And I think that's why Paris is attacked the most, because she's a girl, and it people in some sick, twisted way, even though she's his child, there's never gonna be anything romantic with them or sexual, it's his daughter. But people have this sick thing in their mind. They attack her like they attack Lisa because they're like, it's a female, a woman that's close to him. They freak out. And it's so sick, but they do. I've seen it. I've watched it happen for years. I've watched people attack Paris and say the most derogatory things about her because she's his daughter, and they get angry about it. So, like I said, you can believe whatever you want to believe. That is Michael's history, his lineage. Michael comes from a very multi ethnic background. So it is very natural that his daughter, his sons are going to look exotic. They're going to look different because of where they come from. Their mother is white and he is multi ethnic. So naturally, any child that he has is probably going to look. People said, when he said that Blanket's mother was black, and Martin Bashir is like, oh, there's no way. That scene pissed me off. Blanket's mother can be black. It's very possible that Blanket's mother could be black. All black people don't have like nappy ass hair and like dark skin. There are black people who have very straight hair, very curly hair, very kinky hair, very fine hair, very thick hair, dark skin, light skin. There are people that look black people can come in any color, any kind of hair kind. It's it's not unheard of. It is not unheard of at all, and it's common. It's more common than you think. So I just want people, even if you look at pictures of Michael when Michael was like young, Michael was like brown. Michael wasn't like dark, dark, dark chocolate. He was like brown. Michael was always, he had an afro, but his afro was like soft. He had like curls. It wasn't like he was some like, I don't even know. It's ridiculous to me. Like they act like Michael was like fucking, what's that guy from Roots? Not Kunta Kinte, but the guy who played him. They act like he looked like that. He didn't. He had like he had like brown skin. Look at Catherine. Catherine had beautiful hair. So just it's like, come on, guys. Come on. It's okay for people to like not fit into a box. Yes. I think Michael often, and I am not trying to take away his blackness. I'm not trying to take away his blackness. Michael is a black man. He's a proud black man, and I love that about him. I'm not trying to take away his blackness at all. I'm just saying that black doesn't mean one way of looking. I look at Paris now and I'm like, and Prince, they look like biracial kids to me. I'm just because her hair is bleached blonde, she dyed her hair blonde, but her natural hair color is like a dark brown, and her natural hair is like curly. It's not straight. She flat irons her hair. But if you just, I mean, she looks, I don't know, it's just so weird. Like, let me show you guys something. I want to show you guys an image. Um, Give me one moment. Un momento, por favor. Hoping that this comes up with what I want to look. I'm trying to find it. Hold on one second. This is my niece when she was a baby. This is my niece when she was a baby. A lot of people would never believe that that child had a black parent, but she does. She she has a black parent, you know what I mean? So, like, you can't base things off of a skin color. And she's bigger now, she's 5. But you can't when you look at that child and you're walking down the street, you would never think to her she had a black parent. You know what I mean? You would never assume that at all, but she does. She's half black. She's black and she's white. She's mixed. So you can't base things off of how somebody their skin color or their hair looks. It's ridiculous. You can't do that. Even back in slave days, there was passing slaves, people who passed for white, but they weren't. It's very, very deep, you know. She's a very loud mouth 5-year old now. I miss when she was little like that. I wanted to show you guys a picture of Michael though. Let me find it. Okay, and then I want to show you guys something else. The media, what they do. The media, if you guys see this picture, it hasn't popped up for you because I'm going to delay. Hold on a second. The media, they lightened their pictures. When they post photos of Michael's children, they purposely lighten their photos. Do you guys not understand this agenda? Why they do stuff like this? Why they lighten their skin? They literally like lighten their skin in pictures to make them look a certain way. I've always said the same thing. I've always said the same thing. Yes, they did change Michael's pictures. I was just about to say the same thing. They would alter his pictures, make him look a certain way all the time. Yes. I see people that keep mentioning Brandon. I'm just like over him. Nobody cares about that asshole. I certainly don't. Um, hold on a second. I'm trying to find something here. If you look at this photo of Prince and Michael when Prince was little, his eyes are just like his father's. He doesn't look that much like Michael, but there are certain moments where he does look like his dad. He has like his father's eyes in certain looks, certain, it's not always as prevalent with him, but he does look like him sometimes. There are certain ways he'll like look his dad, you know? Do you see his eyes? His eyes are just like Michael's in this picture. He was like 12 years old, you know? Michael was a little boy in that picture. And Michael didn't have any surgery in that picture, you know? People see what they want to see. People will always see what they choose to see and not what's really in front of them. There was something else, let me see. Pictures tell words often. Let me see. Oh my god, I have a picture of Michael and Dave on here. You guys gonna laugh your asses off? Hold on. Oh Lord. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just had to share it because it's so funny. You tell me that's not the same person. I'll wait. There's no way that is not the same person. Oh my god. There's no way that's not the same person. That trips me out every time I see it. That's crazy. Dude, what? Michael is crazy as hell. Seriously, he doesn't care about anything. He really is. Oh my god. Yes, I remember that. Oh, this is my brother's son when he was a baby. Again, so you guys saw the little girl. This is the little boy. This is the my brother's son when he was a baby. So as you can see, this little boy is half black. You can't base things off of what they should look like. And my brother had 2 kids that look like that. You know what I mean? So people say, "Oh, you might have 1 kid." No, he had 2 children that looked like that. He had 2 kids that looked biracial. He's even lighter now. He's older. He's even like his skin is like whiter now. His skin got whiter with age. He was actually darker when he was a baby than he is right now. Let's see. Um, so I mean, that's what I was like just wanted to talk to you guys about primarily. You know, you just don't know. Oh my god. There was some funny pictures on my computer. He does look just like me. He was little. Do you guys ever see these like Photoshop pictures that people do? They're so funny. What? Oh my god. I had to make you guys laugh for a minute. Oh, it's so funny. Oh my god, that's so funny. These are the kind of people that we deal with. This is why they're crazy. I did not make that Photoshop, just so you guys know. Somebody else. I just found it online and like laughed hysterically for hours when I saw that. People are crazy as hell. Oh wow, remember this? I'm like finding all my old pictures. Wow. So, I'm gonna do the "Can you feel it" video. I know, right? It would look so different now, not just a head photoshopped on a body. Um, So I'm going to do a new video, the "Can you feel it" video, but I did wanna use that as an example to kinda segue into, like, that so you guys have an understanding of Michael's history. You know, a lot of there's just there's so much that factors into this entire situation. I mean, there's so much that factors into it. And, like, right now, I have 5 dislikes on this video, and you know where those it's coming from people who can't accept it. Like, people dislike these videos because they can't accept the truth. They can't because they if I have 5 dislikes on a video where all I literally did was read Michael's history, that's psychotic. Like that's psychosis. People cannot accept who Michael is. They have their own idea of who he is. And because they have their own idea of who he is, they can't deal with reality. It makes them crazy. How do I have 5 dislikes on this video? Because they can't deal with it. And that's okay. You don't have to deal with it. That's totally fine. But don't run around here saying that you want to understand who Michael is and understand his truth when you want to reject part of it. That's my whole stick. That's my whole thing. That's all that I'm saying. If you want to live in oblivion and not care about who someone is, that's fine. That's like your choice. But don't run around here saying that you want to understand someone, but you only want to understand part of who they are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about the down likes. It doesn't bother me. I just think it's crazy how people like perpetuate this existence of, oh, I have to defend Michael and, you know, people should know who he really is. And I don't like Michael Jackson haters, but like, but you do because you deny him of who he is. And you shouldn't do that. That's wrong, man. I can't imagine living a life where nobody ever cares about who I truly am. They literally want an idea. And I think it worked. When you sell yourself, you know, for years as being eligible and being a fantasy for people, that does work for a while. But when you want to truly step into who you are, then they can't shake the idea. And that's like living in a prison, you know? Who wants to live like that? So I'm not gonna touch on that subject. I've done like 3 videos on that already. I'm not gonna touch on it again, but I did want to just kind of point that out. Things are not always what they seem. You know, get to know the person that you are trying to get to know, who they really are. Michael's family, the Jacksons have always been incredible people. They've always been amazing. They have this history that's just incredible from where they come from, what they fought against. You know, his grandfather lost everything, but they still built an empire. I think it's so he lost all of his oil-rich land, but Michael owned Neverland, which had oil underneath it. It's incredible. It's so incredible. You know, it's like it's amazing. But you should know the person that you're trying to understand. And a lot of people, like I said, they just won't. You know, they fight against it, but I'm not trying to like ruffle feathers or make people change their minds about what they think. I'm not trying to do that at all. But I just believe in like the truth and entirety. Like if you're going to tell someone's story, like if you're going to be the person to tell someone's story, be responsible with it. Give all the facts, not just things that work for you. Michael decided to have children and he did. He wanted to leave his mark here for when he was gone. He wanted to carry on his bloodline and he did so. To think what really bothers me is that like how could you think that he is so disgusted with himself? Michael, like how could you even think that he wouldn't want to pass on what he is? Why would you think he wouldn't want to pass that on? I really don't understand people who just say that Blankets is his kid. I don't understand that at all. Like, why the fuck would he just like adopt 2 random white kids and decide to have a black one? That logic really fucks with me, like all the time. I don't, can someone please explain that one to me? Like, why would you like not have kids and like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna have me a kid now. Like that makes no whatever. Okay. Um. So yeah, I agreed to come back around here and finish what I started, and I have to do that in absolute 100% truth and honesty, and without fear of what people are going to like think or how they're going to receive it. So I am going to talk about things that are probably going to make people very uncomfortable, but it's what it is. You know, I always thought that Michael with Lisa, he wanted to just create these like superhumans, you know? That I've always felt like he wanted to just have these babies because he wanted to have like Michael wanted to have a child that was like literally like Jackson Presley blood. I think he really wanted that. I think to him that's like that would be just like amazing. And it just unfortunately it just didn't happen like that. But you know, I don't know. It's just really weird. I don't know. So that being said, thank you guys for listening. Is there any questions about anything that I just spoke about at all, whatsoever? Any questions about anything? Um, Anything I talked about yesterday? I apparently last night got on here and was, like, out of it. That's a whole so let's just ignore that, but, I'm talking about earlier yesterday when I talked on here, like, is there anything that you guys are, um I don't know if the chat's, like, frozen because I don't see anything, and just everything just, like, stopped moving, so but, um, yes, I'm gonna have my new video out very soon. I'm gonna work on it. So, are you guys able to still hear me? Oh, I think the chat is frozen. Have I ever met a Jackson? I have. Yes, I have. Cool. It's not really important who. I don't do that. I'm sorry. It's not to be coy or secretive. I just like to keep that separate, you know? I'm not a person that, like, I don't know. I've shared things with people in the past and it just really backfired on me. So, I just don't do it anymore. I don't say anything. I have told you a million times, like, in my comments, that I am not Brandy Jackson. I don't know why you always comment that. I told you, I am not Brandy. Like, I don't know why you would think she'd be making, like, death hoax videos about her uncle. That's crazy. I'm nobody. I'm just the person. I am nobody. Nobody special, dude. Just some random chick that has an eye for stuff. That's all. Nobody important. What am I people? We are your people, but we are your people. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you guys are great. The people who are believers now are a lot cooler than people from before. Like, I like the people. I don't have a whole lot of people who follow my work, and I'm totally okay with that. Like, I like you guys a lot. I think I have a very grounded group of people who like follow my work and very intelligent people, very smart and very intelligent and like very chill. I don't like the crazy chaos of people and, I don't like all that. Thank you. The picture on the stretcher is crazy because it's, like, insane. There's so I sometimes wish I could just go back to the old hoax days and just, like, talk about so many crazy things, but I don't really go there anymore, but, you know, it's just crazy the stuff that happened. I got lots of pictures I can share with you guys if you want, I mean, I think a lot of you guys are new believers. I think a lot of new believers have popped up in the past year or so. Um Yeah, it's very flat. Changed the helicopter. 100% it did. I'm trying to find It's always just so weird to me that this was a couple of days before the O2 press conference, you know? Like, this is a couple days be that just weirds me out. Like, I don't know. I still don't even know what to believe about the O2 guy. I never know what to believe about it. I go back and forth with it, but I just can't believe that that was, like, a couple of days apart. Like, that's so weird. This is a couple of days before he made the announcement. It's so weird that he just looks so different, you know? True chameleon, that one is. You don't think it's Michael at the O2 press conference? I don't know. I go back and forth with it. Like sometimes I think it's him just messing with people. And then sometimes I don't. Oh, I forgot that I have this. Oh, I should have showed. I forgot I have this, guys. I should have showed this to you yesterday. Look at this. I forgot to show this to you guys yesterday. I forgot that I had it on my computer already. But isn't that weird? Like what? That's so weird. I think Michael was drunk at the O2 press conference. I think he was drunk. Honestly, I do. I just think he was drunk. Victory. What picture was on the Facebook account today? Wait, what? Michael's been using doubles for a long time. I gotta check the Facebook account. That's crazy. They put that up after I made that video yesterday. They posted that picture today. That's crazy. What? I gotta see this. Hold on a minute. Michael Jackson. Pages. Oh my god! That is so funny! Oh my god, that's so funny! Dude, see guys, see, I'm not a person that's all like, you know, a clue, a clue. I don't do that, but that's really funny that they would post that the day after I made this video about this. That's crazy. Wow. They really posted that? It's his official Facebook account too. And 7 hours ago, guys, 7 hours ago they posted it. How funny is that shit? Oh my god, I have to screenshot this. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm gonna put it on here. This is so funny to me. I'm dying. Um, this is wild. I gotta read I didn't read the caption yet. Hold on a second. I'm gonna read it in a minute. It's gonna be backwards probably, so you're not gonna be able to see what it says, but I'm gonna read it. Hold on a minute. Where's my, I'm trying to find it. I can't believe they posted this. What does the caption say? It's incomprehensible for me how anyone could not see the direct connections between Jackson's impact on pop culture, MTV, and WWF's rise to national level prominence in pop culture frenzy in the mid 80s. In my opinion, Jackson clearly paved the way for a larger than life show that wrestlers quickly saw and joined during the 1980s visual art revolution. Jackson made many movies, videos the norm. Please then tell me how I can't read that word. The video is not a direct effect of Michael Jackson's pop culture influence. Can you think of any part of pop culture where Michael Jackson's influence cannot be seen or heard? That is so crazy. Wow. Because that was such a big part of that video that I did yesterday, that picture. I was talking about it. I'm like a little creeped out right now. What did Dante post on Instagram? Hold on a second. Instagram, Dante Jackson. Hold on, I'm gonna look right now. That is wild. Dante Jackson. I don't see his. Here it is. He hasn't even been on his Instagram in so long. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm learning how to see sounds and hear colors. That's insane. Wow. Okay, well. Oh, that's funny. That's funny stuff. Well, Sandy, Facebook. Yes, we're discussing coincidence. I'd be freaked out. I don't really get freaked out because I know, I'm not really surprised. Sometimes validation comes in very subtle ways. I like how I discovered that was sent to me 7 hours ago, but I'm not really, it's just interesting to me, very fascinating. I think it's funny because that video was talking about Michael's how, like, he influenced his influence, you know what I mean? Of all his projects on, like, so many things yesterday, we were talking about that. So that's just very interesting to me. Huh, wow. Yeah, he's always around. When you speak the truth, validation always comes, though. You don't have to go out there seeking validation. It comes to you naturally, normally. If you're telling the truth and you're being, like, honest, you don't have to seek anything, it just comes to you. We were talking about galaxies. I know, I just looked at Dante's Instagram, I saw that. Oh, that's crazy. Wow. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna start happening like that too. Synchronicities like that are going to be, like, very common. it's coming. You're gonna see a lot of synchronicities, like, coming and, like, things that just normally wouldn't stand out. They're gonna start being more prevalent. Like, you'll see. That's why I always say, like, I don't really stress about stuff. Like, I just make my videos and do my work. Like, I don't ever have to, like, push stuff. If it's something that's true, it's gonna come out. It's gonna always be the truth always comes out no matter what. No matter what. You don't have to seek validation. It just appears when it's supposed to be there, when it's real. You know what I mean? It's there. So, thank you for bringing that to my attention because I certainly did not know about it, but that's really cool. That's validation to me. It's validation for sure, with what I was saying. I'm trying to find my which MJ song was I listening to? I don't know. I smoked a bunch of weed. I was stoned as hell. And I thought I turned my live on, but then I thought nobody could hear me, so I thought I turned it off. But it was just on for like 15 minutes. I didn't even realize it was on. I was listening to music. I'm sorry about that. I had no idea what was going on. Guys, I haven't had meat in over a week and I cannot take it. I want some meat so bad. I want like, oh my God, I want some meat. What do you guys think of this picture? What do you think when you see that photo, that drawing? What does it make you think of? Today might be my breaking point. I need to get some meat in my body. I'm gonna die. I haven't had any in over a week. BG as an adult? You think so? Do you guys remember this from Chris Angel? Meat is murder. I don't care. I need to have it in my life. Today's the day. Remember this from Chris Angel? So this is from Chris Angel's, I think, Believe show that came out. That does? It was from the Chris Angel's Believe show. You eat every day? No, I can't eat anything with a face. What's your question, Naz? I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Let me scroll up. I was looking at something. Hold on. Naz. He has pointy ears. What's your? I don't see your question. Get some cheeseburgers. I am. I'm eating a. I'm extremely whack. Okay, that's cool. Tonicha, fuck you. uh, let's see here. Naz, I didn't see your question. I'm sorry. Tacos. Oh my god, yes. That'd be so good today. I would live for tacos today. That was Chris Angel's picture. I don't know why he used that picture. Oh my god. Somebody send this to Dan Reed. Yes, he was. The Victory album was 1984. Nas. Guys, we need to have a new forum for sure. I'm gonna make one tonight. Screw that. I'm making a new forum tonight. It's gonna be dope. Does anybody want to be a moderator at my forum? I need to have 4 moderators. No, I didn't see that on Marlon's pants. No, I didn't see that at all. I have to look at it and see. Let me get the picture. Hold on a second. You said the Victory album cover? I don't see Notre Dame. 666. Where do you see Notre Dame? Oh shit! That does look like Notre Dame. Oh wow. Holy shit. Let me pull up a picture of Notre Dame. Hold on a second. Hang on one second, guys. I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, so here's Notre Dame. Wow, that's crazy. That does look like Notre Dame. That's crazy. Oh my god. And notice in the picture that Notre Dame is falling over. Holy shit. It's crazy. Oh my god, that's insane. And Michael was completely responsible for that album design. He told Michael Whelan what to draw, what to paint. He told him what to paint. Yes, the ground is ruined. And it looks like it's like toppling over. Wow. Wait, I gotta find a picture of it burnt down. This is insane. Okay, hold on a second. We have this. Wow, that's crazy. Because if you look, it looks like in this picture, I have to make a side by side. I'll have to make it. Oh my god, here the crazies are in here now. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna do a comparison photo and I'm gonna put it in my next video. Pet goat 2. What's that? I'm gonna have to look into that. Okay, hold on. Nipsey's neck tattoo. Okay, hold on. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just made a connection. Okay. Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh my God. Okay. I just made a connection, guys. Hold on a second. Okay. This is Nipsey Hussle's tattoo. Okay. 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 Check this out. Listen to this. Hold on a second. Okay. Guys, check this out. Okay. That's Nipsey's tattoo on his neck. Okay. The marathon, right? Let me go back to the picture of the. Okay. So, okay. So, that's not Marlon. That is Randy. Okay? That's Randy. What's interesting, Nas, what's interesting, there's the dove that is on Randy's shoulder was removed on the album cover. It was removed. Okay? You know the dove symbolizes Jesus's resurrection. That's what the dove symbolizes. Now, what's interesting about that, Nipsey Hussle's name, or Armias, means the rise of God. That is crazy. Oh my God. Because he has the checkered pants and he has the dove on his shoulder, which they removed. They took the dove off. The dove is symbolic of the resurrection of Jesus. Nipsey Hussle's real name is Armias. Armias means the rise of God. Oh my God, that's crazy. Holy shit. Oh my God. Armias. Yes, it means the rise of God. That's crazy. That is an incredible connection to make because I would have never even thought about that, Nas. That's Randy. That's a dove on his. They took the dove off. It was on some pictures. So the dove means rise of God. He has the marathon on his leg. Oh my God. That's crazy. And that does look like Notre Dame in the background. But it looks like Notre Dame coming down. They took the dove off. Victory lap. Oh my God. Victory lap. Oh my God. That's the name of Nipsey Hussle's album, Victory Lap. Oh my God. Victory Lap. Oh my mind is, like, blown right now. That is crazy. Holy shit. In the road? Like, the road? Like, it's like a road, like, if you're running the road. Oh my god. Guys, I have to do a video on this shit. And I will give full credit to Nas for finding that because that is an incredible find. I have to you oh my god, that's crazy. I would have never made that. This is what I'm talking about. We should be coming together to figure things out instead of fighting all the time. If people just stopped fighting and came together and had conversations about stuff, do you know the things that we would figure out if we actually like communicated and talked and didn't fight all the time? Oh my goodness. That is insane. Oh my god. MJ. And I told you guys in the video that I did yesterday that he specifically said that like he told him how to paint this. He said he told them to position him in that way. Now I'm looking at their positioning and I'm like weirded out because it's like it looks like Michael, Jermaine, and Marlon, how they're standing looks like it says MJ. Like it looks like an MJ. If you look at how they're standing, it looks like MJ. Oh my god. Why is I oh, this person's getting on my nerves. My name is Brandy. I see the 666 for sure in the clouds. Yes, I see what you're saying, 97 Warlock. What the hell? What do you want? You keep asking me like the same questions over and over again. I don't know what answer you want from me. Oh my god. Okay. So, guys, wait. Okay. First of all, I'm going to make a forum because we need to have a place to talk about this stuff first of all. Secondly, I can't, like, oh! Yes, Charlene! The CERN logo! Yes! Yes, that's what it looks like. It looks like the fucking CERN logo. That's what it looks like, the CERN logo. Oh my God, yes. I'm gonna pull up the CERN logo. Hold on a second. Oh my God. Dude, I'm freaked out. This is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put the CERN logo. Okay. Okay, I put it up. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, what the fuck? How? How does it look like? Oh my God, I am fucking tripping right now. And you guys are finding this stuff. You guys are finding it. This is what I'm talking about. You can do stuff yourself. You don't need people to think for you. You guys are intelligent, smart people. People can see things when they start looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need people to lead you anywhere. You guys are finding this stuff. I didn't even see this shit. I completely missed this stuff. I completely missed it. Like, that's crazy. Oh my God. I am like, what the fuck? Oh, wait, I have to get the other picture. Let me find the other one. Media files. Okay. I have to get off of here. I have to go. Um, Listen to me, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make I'm gonna do some things. Um, but I'm gonna make a forum. I'm going to make a forum so we can have a place we can actually come and like talk about things and post analysis and like do this stuff that's not like live on YouTube because they're going to start they're gonna start blocking my stuff soon. I know it's coming. They're gonna start blocking my stuff soon. That's Victory, the Victory album cover. So I'm going to make a forum and then we can like go on the forum and start like actually talking about stuff like amongst ourselves so that they're not deleting our stuff because they're gonna start blocking my videos. I know it's coming. So um we'll do that. I will reach out to you guys soon. I have to do something, but I'll be around in a little bit, and, just check your notifications. I'll talk to you guys shortly, okay? Love you all, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for everything that you guys do. You're amazing people. Yes, it does have the 666 in it, I know. I'll talk to you guys very soon.